Man, I have struggled with how to tell this story. The title is not clickbait. About 4 months ago, end of March of this year, I hurt myself really badly. Here's a look at my insides. This is one of my lower back discs, and this MRI shows that it was bulged bad enough not just to cause a whole lot of pain, making sleep almost impossible. It actually damaged the nerve that runs down my right leg and damaged it badly enough that I lost almost all of the strength in my right calf. I couldn't walk without a limp. There's never a good time for something like this to happen, but I feel like the timing in this case was particularly bad. I just quit my job to go full-time. It would have been a great time to just throw myself at a ton of build projects, not to mention the fact that I sell physical products and I'm still at a point with the business that I do all the shipping myself. On top of all that, the business was under some pressure that I'm not going to get into in this video, but that I discussed in this video. So I had a ton of additional work to do to shore the business up. Additional physical work not very compatible with a back injury. The doctors are telling me if it gets any worse, maybe it could be permanent. That's not good. At the same time, I really needed to get out of these 2 storage rooms to reduce that business expense, which means I needed this garage space empty, which means I needed a shed. So here I am, gingerly building a shed a month after I was most acutely injured, trying not to hurt myself worse. I'm not saying this is smart, I'm just telling you how I navigated through the whole thing. And right as I was gearing up to get into this shed build, my wife made this innocent sounding but sort of devastating at the time comment about how she wanted to ramp up from the sidewalk. The sidewalk that angles away from the space the storage shed's going to be and also slants downwards. And I know what she wants is a nice ramp that she can wheel a heavy snow blower up and get it into the shed very easily. A nice smooth transition. And I was reminded at this point of a story that I heard about Warren Buffett. Bear with me. Warren and some other billionaires are playing golf, and he's presented with a bet. The nature of the bet is that if he makes a hole-in-one while he's golfing, he gets $10,000. If he doesn't get a hole-in-one, he pays $10. He thinks about it, doesn't take the bet. And when his friends press him on it to the tune of, it's only $10, he says, if you're not disciplined about the little things, you won't be disciplined about the big things, or something like that. Taken more broadly, the general philosophy, core lesson of this story could be seen as the thing that you really do for real, never phone it in at that thing. For Warren Buffett, that's asset allocation, and he's real good at it, and that's why he's a billionaire. For me, it's designing woodworking tools, and that's why I'm comfortably middle class. And that's fine. I get to do what I love. But I can take that story and take the comments from my wife and not phone it in on a design challenge. And after I got into it, I was really glad I didn't. I think I came up with a really clever way to keep the shed low to the ground, minimize the cost of extra wood, have a very strong ramp that was easy to build that also is a smooth, continuous transition from this angled, sloping sidewalk up to the shed. I'm happy with it, and I think I'll always look at it as an example of how I can step up to the challenge even at a very tough time. So, I don't know, I guess I'm telling you I'm proud of myself for this one. After the shed build wrapped up, I did feel like I'd overdone it. My calf strength was recovering for that month after the lowest point. After the shed build, it stepped back a bit. I couldn't quite walk as far, so I took it real easy, like the most easy I've taken it since I can't even remember, for 3 weeks. My priority was sleep and rest and just recovery. I know some of you are saying I should have done that from the start, but at least I did it at this point, and I don't think I did any real permanent harm. Anyway, after those 3 weeks, I was able to start doing stuff again and got to the point where I could actually move out of those 2 storage rooms. This is me, so this is 6 weeks after the shed build, 2.5 months after the worst of the injury, moving boxes around, talking about the experience at that point. So the current situation is that it is June 23rd, about 11 weeks since I was most acutely injured. The last 11 weeks I've made a ton of progress. My calf strength is not all the way back, but it is at probably 65 or 70% strength, and that's like 3 times what it was at the very weakest. So it's a lot better. I had a cortisone shot a couple months ago. I've been doing physical therapy Been weightlifting, I've been biking, been doing all of my core exercises. I've been putting in a ton of effort to try to feel better, and it's working. I'm also at a point with the business that I really need to move out of these storage rooms, like I've been talking about in this video. I'm probably about halfway done. Woke up this morning feeling really good and ambitious. This is the second truckload that I've taken. And my back started to feel just a little bit wonky. Now that's scary because they haven't told me exactly what did this. All of a sudden I woke up one morning and things were real bad. And my sciatic nerve was clearly under duress. And I can't even tell you how much I don't want to wake up another one of these mornings and find that I've ruined all the progress that I've made. But I gotta get this done. Each one of these swivel mounts weighs 15 pounds. I asked about a specific lifting restriction or anything like that. The doctor and the physical therapist couldn't give me one. The best I've been able to understand about this kind of injury, this side bulge disc, is that it happens when your back is under load and you're also twisting. Like they said, shoveling snow is the most common cause. It's like the stereotypical perfect way to cause this injury. So I'm taking it slow. Usually I lift these 3 or 4 boxes at a time, but that's not the reality right now, or maybe ever. And I'm trying real hard not to twist at all. So, wish me luck. I'm gonna finish this up and let you know how I feel. Let's put the MRI back up for a second because I want to answer a question that I'm anticipating in the comments. That question being, shouldn't an injury like this necessitate some kind of surgery? What they told me was that there are relatively I wouldn't say non-invasive, but not the most serious surgeries that can be done to fix this, like a micro disc. I don't exactly know what that means. But they said that's what they would do for me if I was a D1 athlete, to use the doctor's exact words. Like, it was really important that I be healed quickly. I mean, it feels important to me, but I guess I'm not D1 athlete important. Anyway, they would do that surgery and I would recover faster. But there'd also be some risk to it, a bit of a trade-off. And that the chances of my body reabsorbing the disc material and the nerve healing on its own without surgery were good, provided I don't overdo it. So that's what they advised me to do. And I talked to some other doctors who seemed to agree with that spine surgeon. So that's what I went with. And the progress that I've made, despite doing things like building sheds and schlepping heavy products around, which probably I shouldn't be doing quite as much of as I'm doing, has been pretty good. So all in all, I think as long as I don't get too crazy, I'm going to continue to heal and things will be better. So that's it. 2 truckloads moved today. My back feels just as good as it did when I started that process, so slow and steady wins the race. I'm probably going to take tomorrow off. It's the 23rd, like I said. That means I have 7 more days to move out of the storage rooms before I get charged again. So I can definitely afford that day off, and I think it'll do me good, so that's the plan. On with the video. I'm not sure what segment is coming next because I haven't sorted out the whole story arc of this video, but whatever's coming next comes now. How the injury happened. That's what I want to expand on next. It's true, like I said, in the truck unloading sequence, that I don't know exactly when I did this. I think it was a combination of a lot of factors. One of those factors I believe is particularly relevant for this audience, and that is bad workshop posture. I've known for a long time, when I edit videos like the ones I've been playing in the background, that my posture in the shop is worse than it feels in my head. I'll shoot a bunch of videos and I'll go to edit and I'll think, man, I'm really slouching and rounding over my back a lot more than I would have thought I was in my head. Some nuance. Posture like this isn't necessarily bad unless you spend far too much time in this particular posture, with those stresses carrying down and causing problems other places in your body. That's the best I've come to understand this. So I'm making a lot of changes in my life to try to stay healthy. One of them is to occasionally try to work with my shoulders straight and my neck upright, being very conscious about posture. And to achieve this good or really different posture for some operations, I put this little shelf up. I tried to follow my philosophy on this one of designing some amazing wall-mounted work-holding workstation. I was just getting nowhere. So I thought I'll do the opposite this time very intentionally, put the simplest thing up possible and just see what use I can make out of it. And at least it's there as a reminder to stop and think about how a particular operation can be done with a different posture, and hopefully this keeps me healthier in the future. I'll see how much use I can get out of this. You'll occasionally, hopefully, see me using this little shelf for operations, thinking about my posture and not rounding over quite so much. And maybe someday I'll have the inspiration to build something better. The thing that you see me working on with this little shelf is production of Incline Bench Dogs. I've got a ton of these to make to get ready for the busy holiday season and a ton of other work to do, so it's a good thing that the last 4 months really has got me back, not 100%, but a lot better, to the point where I feel ready for the busy season, including holidays and build videos and product production and all the stuff that I have to do. I have been cruising along making incline bench dog tops. I'm doing the thread tapping over here, and it starts at the CNC. Everything was going fine until it stopped going fine. I wish I'd had a camera set up for that. Probably would have been pretty spectacular. But it seems I have another opportunity to design on my hands. I did search briefly for designs of Avid CNC dust collection by others that I could purchase, but I didn't find any that weren't anchored to the router itself, and I don't really like that for vibration purposes. The extrusion behind the router seems like a much better target to anchor the dust collection. So I used that and designed one myself. And I'll close this off with one final word on design. Designing a life to hopefully keep me healthy in the future. These exercises that I'm doing, I'm going to do every day for the rest of my life, hopefully, because I believe them to be the most time-effective way to keep my back healthy. And I think that just with the way discs degenerate over time, this is always something I'm going to have to pay attention to. So this is my new practice. I'm very thankful for the physical therapists and the doctors who didn't resort to surgery right away. The trend of healing leads me to believe that was the right decision. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Wish me luck. Got a lot of cool stuff coming. Thanks for following along. This was a hard video to make. I don't know. I don't know. I hope you got something out of it. If you're dealing with something tough, I had some real low points along the way. I just kind of had that one image of my back, but there were a lot of really miserable, sleepless, worrying nights when I didn't know what was going on with my body and why my leg was partially paralyzed and all that stuff that I never turned the camera on and recorded. But it was pretty tough. If you're going through something, keep your head up, stay positive, look for small incremental solutions, and things will get better. So, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.